Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about the Chat GPT and what it is. Even if you've never heard of artificial intelligence before, you'll be able to understand it. The Chat GPT is an exciting new technology that is changing the way we interact with computers and other devices. What is the Chat GPT? The Chat GPT is a computer program that you can talk to like a friend. It's one of the latest developments in the field of artificial intelligence, or AI for short. The acronym GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is a fancy way of saying that it's a computer program that can generate text based on what it has learned from lots of other text. How does the Chat GPT work? The Chat GPT uses something called deep learning to understand what you're saying and respond to you in a natural way. Deep learning is a type of machine learning, which is a way of training computers to do tasks that normally require human intelligence. The Chat GPT has been trained on huge amounts of text data, which means that it's really good at understanding English. When you type in words to the Chat GPT, it tries to figure out what you mean. Then it uses what it knows about the English language to come up with a response that makes sense. It's kind of like having a really smart chatbot. But unlike traditional chatbots, which are based on rules and don't really understand language, the Chat GPT can generate text that sounds natural and human-like. What can you use the Chat GPT for? You can use the Chat GPT for lots of things. You can ask it questions, tell it what to do, or just chat with it like you would with a friend. Some companies even use the Chat GPT to help with customer service, so you might have talked to one without realizing it. The Chat GPT can also be used for things like language translation, summarizing text, and generating text for things like articles and social media posts. Is the Chat GPT intelligent? The Chat GPT is intelligent in a way, but it's not like a human brain. It's really good at processing language and figuring out what you mean, but it doesn't have emotions or feelings like a person does. It's also not capable of understanding things like humor or sarcasm, although researchers are working on ways to teach it these things. One thing that's really interesting about the Chat GPT is that it can generate text that is indistinguishable from text written by a human. This is both exciting and a little bit scary, because it means that we can't always tell if we're talking to a computer or a person. This is why some people are concerned about the ethics of using the Chat GPT, especially when it comes to things like fake news and online manipulation. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.